All right, No Spot Motivation episode 6. Reminding you, we're doing videos every Tuesday and Friday. Now, making excuses, not taking excuses. Unfiltered honesty. Got 5 other episodes up right now. This is number 6. We have, there's some poems on there. There's a poem playlist, if that's something you might be interested in. And check it out. Please consider subscribing if this is interesting to you. But today we're talking about being trapped, the sensation of being trapped, and what can be done to alleviate that concern. Because there's a lot of things, particularly a job, that you can feel completely trapped in. There's nothing else to do. Where you can't even separate, this is what I do for a living. It's not my life. It's engulfing, encompassing, and you can't just take off. It's not exactly like a relationship, where even then you can feel trapped. There can be time invested in a relationship where just up and leaving isn't the wisest choice, but it's very not wise with a job. You got to have another plan. You should have another job before you leave a job. This is ideal. But this isn't always the case. But the concept behind this is that trapped sensation is a result of not acting on the things that you want to be doing. It's justifying yourself in a way that mundane is adequate when it's not. It can be. You don't have to have a busy, constant going life. That could be perfectly fulfilling for you, which is great if it is. All the much easier to facilitate. But to not take action when you should be is accentuating what is that trap sensation otherwise. It's what is taking away from the little existence that we have in this world. So it has to be strategic, these steps for a solution. And you don't have to settle. It can always be better. You can always be applying. You can always be interviewing. You can always be updating your resume. You can always be building a side business that can hopefully become its own business. You can be saving money to invest into a business and be a silent partner and create your own pension. There's all kinds of options. We feel defeated in the attempts that we make in the world because it's easy to not take them. It's much easier to live thinking that just because you're doing better than someone else, that's good enough. It's not for me. I can tell you that. It's not where I want to be. It's not how I want to go through life. But the steps that you take have to be systematic, and they have to be intentional, and they have to have their own strategies within themselves. So you can get to point A so that you can get to B to C. Can't do A and D at the same time. Can't do A and Z at the same time. Neither is going to come to fruition. And regardless of the timelines that you set for yourself, they're almost certainly not going to be on the timeline that you would prefer. That's the solution with most realities. But you can still take those steps, baby steps, turn into big steps, turn into running, turn into sprinting, turn into long jumps. So, you're going to jump, or you're going to just trudge along. Maybe even revert to crawling. That's easier. That's an easy way to look around and ask for help instead of finding a way to run yourself. It's a quick one today. But you don't have to be trapped. is the point. We all have this sensation, and it is increasingly exhausting. And by the time you want to implement these steps, a lot of the times there is not much left to even think about the steps, let alone implement them. But you have to find that. You have to find the why that people talk about so often. It's easy for wanting a better life for your family, yourself, your children, of course, to be a why. But is that driving you to do that? Is that driving you to those decisions? There's a difference between motivation and discipline. And you can't have authentic motivation without discipline. So you get yourself to that spot, you decide this is what it is for now, and you strive for that goal until you get to it. And once you get to that, you make another one. And it's always getting better. It's always developing. That's how you can release yourself from feeling like you're trapped in a cage. Have a great night.